I'll let you hold that. Thanks. Thank you so much for the honor. Wow, a four-peat. Can you believe that? That's just absolute madness. That wouldn't happen without a lot of dedication on the part of managers at Tegna who have committed the resources to this, managers at KUSA, but also a lot of hardworking people all the way from cam ops up to the news director. It's been a fantastic effort, and the station is committed to it. I'm not there anymore. I have moved within Tegna out to Sacramento to KXTV, the ABC affiliate out there, working on special projects, and it's been an awesome move, and it's awesome to see Marshall continue to run this ball forward because it's a worthy cause. We were asked to put together some thoughts about the attacks that are coming from a couple blocks that way against our industry, and they're not true, and we should say so, but that's minimally effective because we have trust issues right now with the people that we serve. And the trust issues aren't just about mistakes, although we could do a better job of owning up to those. We do make some, we are human. But people don't get us as an industry, as a news industry. Like, they just don't really understand the things that we do. And that's a problem because we are in a position of influence and a position of power. We are the people watching the people in power while everyone else goes out and does their day job. But we expect them to understand the things we do after, all of us went to J school. We expect them to understand when a newspaper makes an endorsement of a candidate that, that's not the newsroom speaking, that's the editorial board, as if we would ever hold, Amazon to that same standard or any other company. If one department says something, that company says something. So we need to put that up at the top. And some newspapers do a really great job of doing that. Others, could do a little bit better. How to respond, though? There's one thing I think that every journalist could do better to help make it so that these attacks against our industry don't land as well. And what do I mean by that? I think we need to show our purpose in the work we do. And that's a common theme you're going to see throughout all of the clips you're going to see today, is it's purposeful work, and it shows its purpose in the work itself. You got to ask yourself why when you're working on a story. Not the why of the story, but the why are you doing the story the way you did it. We don't explain our editorial decisions to our audience very well. And we need to have a good answer for that, because right now the President of the United States is filling in the why behind our editorial decisions, claiming that there's some sort of political cabal out there that phones into newsrooms around the country and tells us what Mr. Obama would like us to cover today. That's not how it works. As you all know, we make our own independent decisions. When we feel like we're purposeless in some of the stories that we do, it's not that it is purposeless, it's that we're doing it with a bad purpose. Some of these editorial decisions that we make are made out of the wrong reason. And I'll give you one example. Everyone who's worked in local TV has seen this story. I have done this story. Hot jobs, right? It's hot outside. Let's go out and find some people working at a construction site and talk about how they stay cool, they seek shade, and they drink water, as if we didn't all know to do that as human beings in our reptilian brain. That doesn't serve the audience very well. So why are we doing that story? We're doing it to fill time. We're doing it because we have a newscast and we have a hole to fill. Let's find a better purpose. If you can't ask yourself that, why are we doing this, and answer it with something that puts the audience at the front of that answer, then you need to rethink why you're making the editorial decisions that you are. People aren't stupid. They can tell when your work doesn't have that clarity of purpose behind it. So I think if every journalist can commit themselves to asking, why have we made the decisions that we made, but not just asking themselves that question, putting it in the material itself so that the audience can see there was a well-thought-out reason behind the way we presented this story, the way we pursued it, the way we chose the focus for the story. And that's not going to be a magic wand that fixes everything, but I think it will help us to avoid some of these punches landing with the effect that they are. Marshall? Thanks, Brandon.
A lot of that talks about transparency, and what you see here, the way we do our truth test, the way we go toward, truth tests aren't just about political ads. It's about statements being made along the way. It's about promises. We have something called Polis's Promises now that follows our new governor, Jared Polis, along the way. So this is about transparency. What were the statements made? Where can someone at home make it so easy, we can make it so easy for them to find it, but show them in a bit of an entertaining way. I don't know if you saw in the bottom corner of that second clip, I had a little Bitmoji of me. So I transitioned our truth test this year to be a little more entertaining, because if you don't care about the topic, you're going to tune out. My sister's a fourth grade teacher, so sometimes I think about how does she keep her students' attention. Sadly, some of that involves, shiny objects. So if someone doesn't care about politics or the political ad or whatever we're talking about, what can I add to that? Then maybe, oh, I saw that. That looked neat. I have that app on my phone. What's that story about? And maybe they'll stick around. So by the way, the next time you're feeling under the weather and you have about an hour to kill on the couch, if you don't have the Bitmoji app, get it and spend an hour while you're sick perfecting it so that it looks just like you, because it's a great conversation starter. When we talk about transparency, though, it's about showing people how they can do it themselves, not just telling people what the answer is. And the show that Brandon used to work on, the show I work on, is called Next with Kyle Clark. He was the anchor during the debate. It's a show that's unlike a newscast because we talk the way people at home talk. We think the way people at home think. And we do stories that you're thinking about that you don't think, man, they would never do that on TV. And now we're doing it on TV. So I encourage just the thought process to change a little bit about the conversations you have internally about what should a viewer know, what should a reader know. Let them in on that and show that process on air, in print, online, and it will create more of this, but hopefully not too much more, because we want to keep this up for 5 in a row. So, thanks.